What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we're going to take a look once again at the Old Man Logan trials because some people are still struggling with the event. So I'm going to give you some extra tips, some cheat codes that are going to allow you to beat this even easier on the hardest difficulty, which is difficulty 15. This is going to allow you to get Old Man Logan at 7 yellow stars. And some people have been saying that it's not even worth it because it's not arena meta anymore. If you're looking at Old Man Logan for the arena meta, you are absolutely wrong in terms of perspective. Old Man Logan still dominates Cosmic Crucible, Alliance Wars, Dark Dimension, even raids. So just because we are going to stop using him soon, he's still useful there. But soon, yes, we are probably going to stop using Old Man Logan. He's still a very, very powerful character for all those other game modes that we mentioned. And we have no information on the future game mode, Battle World, and he might also be useful there, so keep that in mind. Okay, so it's still important. Should you still max out some of your characters to obtain Old Man Logan? The answer is absolutely yes. Now, we are going to focus on this video on hero skill characters and the cosmic bio characters because those are the characters that people are still struggling the most with and they have not been able to overcome these nodes. So once again, I'm going to give you some additional tips to help you out. This is going to be not only which characters you should invest in, but also ISO 8, the position of the characters, and so on, and the turn order to attack, because it seems like a lot of people are struggling, even content creators. So we are going to make it as easy as possible for everyone. Now, taking a look at the Cosmic Bio characters, some people have been saying, oh, this is impossible without Super Scroll or whatever. Super Scroll is a requirement. No, it's not the case. On my first run, I completed it without Super Scroll, and we are going to use the characters without Super Scroll again. People have been asking about Black Bolt and Mr. Fantastic. Like, if you think Black Bolt and Mr. Fantastic are good characters for this, you are getting very bad information from somewhere else, definitely not from here. Black Bolt and Mr. Fantastic are definitely not good for these nodes, so keep that in mind. The characters we're going to focus on is Nowhere, Void Knight, Photon, and also Gladiator. You could possibly use Philavel, but I don't recommend investing on Philavel. I made this video recently on which are the characters that are going to survive the new MSF meta. You can see right here, the great MSF reset, who will survive this meta change. You should definitely check out to see which teams survive. And Infinity Watch is definitely not one of those teams. So yeah, do not invest on Philavel. So we're going to focus once again on Nowhere plus Photon, Void Knight, and Gladiator if you decide to get a Gladiator. Okay, so is Nowhere still a team that you should invest in? Nowhere is a team that has some value in Alliance Wars. Outside of Alliance Wars, not so much, but there is a possibility that they'll get a rework in the future because they also have a lot of tie-ins with Guardians. So Guardians have a legendary, so there is a chance that they could get a rework in the future. Okay, but yeah, they are useful in Alliance Wars. Now, in terms of the other characters, Photon must have for Alliance Wars as well, very useful in Dark Dimension. Very useful also in Cosmic Crucible. The same goes for Void Knight, part of the Hivemind team, a raid team that we are going to use in the future as well. So keep that in mind. These characters are not going anywhere. And if you take a look at my Cosmo and my Korg, they don't even have diamonds. So it's not like, oh, I was able to do this because my characters are full of diamonds. It's not even the case. You just need to have the proper ISO 8, proper position, and attacking the right characters. And we're going to take a look at that in a second. Okay, now, the other characters that we are going to use are Hero Skill, and for Hero Skill, we are going to use Ray Team, Spider Society, and we're also going to use the Black Knight. Something I have to note is that we are not going to sack any of the nodes. This is 100% one-shot, and we have Spider Society. Once again, we have characters that have 0 diamonds, so once again, don't tell me in the comments, oh, you got carried by the diamonds or anything like that. I'm just joking, but sometimes it happens. So yeah, Spider Society, they are going to be necessary for the next raid. They are also probably going to be necessary for the Dark Dimension 8 as well. So yes, these are definitely characters that you should invest in. And for this version, without a sack, we're going to use a Black Knight as well. Some people say that Black Knight is now useless. He's not useless, don't say that. And putting 1 diamond on him, it's fine. But if you have 0 diamonds, it's fine as well. You just have to make sure that you have the proper ISO weight on him and on other characters as well. So these are the characters that we are going to use in order for us to get through the hero skill nodes and also the cosmic bio nodes. And once again, these are definitely characters that at least deserve some investment. And having Old Man Logan at 7L stars, 700 stars, maybe even some diamonds in the future is definitely going to be very, very important for your success in Marvel Strike Force. Okay, with this introduction, let's take a look at the gameplay and see what you have to do, the position of the characters, ISO weight, and so on, for you to be successful on the Old Man Logan trials at difficulty 15. Okay, so here we are on the Biocosmic nodes, and we're going to use Nowhere with Photon and Gladiator. Like I said before, like I showed in my previous video, you can use Void Knight as well. It's not going to be a problem. Now, something you should really focus on is the ISO weight of the characters. It's very, very important. Cosmo, you want to make sure that he has healer ISO weight, just to make sure that you have a good amount of sustain. Then Korg, you want to use him as a skirmisher or as a raider to apply some vulnerabilities to the enemies. I would prefer the skirmisher. And with the Gladiator, you want to use him as a raider. And the reason why you want to use him as a raider, it's because with the basic and with the special, he attacks multiple targets, and you need those vulnerabilities. If you don't have enough vulnerabilities, this might be one of the reasons why you are failing. In terms of Photon and Nova, you want both of them as strikers because you want Nova to destroy the enemies with his Awaken ability. Once again, Awaken ability on the basic of Nova, very, very important. And finally, we have a Photon with the Striker ISO weight because that allows her to do way more damage and also to keep her alive because every time she does the Striker ISO weight, she gains more charges. The position of the team is very important as well. You want to have Gladiator with a pre-taunt in one corner, followed by Korg, Nova, and then Cosmo, and finally Photon because she doesn't have a lot of health, so you need to keep her at bay. Okay, so let's take a look on how we attack the enemies. Pretty similar to what I did on my previous video using Void Knight, but of course Gladiator does not provide the same amount of control as Void Knight, so yeah, it's just the latest character, right? Okay, so you want to stun the blob so he stops taunting in case you push the enemies below 50% health, and then you just blind on that right side. Nemesis is very important to blind, Lady Strike, and also Toad, so just make sure that you land those negative effects. With the Gladiator, you're going to use the special to apply some vulnerabilities, and you want to make sure that you delete these guys with the assist chance, the 2 Dark Beasts. In terms of rewind, you can do it here, where I did on the right side, or the left side, it doesn't really matter. And then with Nova, you want to use his ultimate, and you want to make sure that his Striker ISO weight kills someone. Or you target the Silver Samurai, or you target one of these Dark Beasts, whichever has vulnerability, because you have to get rid of all of these assist mechanics. Okay, so you can see we deleted most of the wave, and now the goal is to still remove these guys that assist, and then you want to delete Magneto and Archangel. Now my RNG on this attempt was really terrible. I had one just way before that was much better. But yeah, even if you get bad RNG, if you attack the enemies properly, you'll be fine. Okay, so you want to get rid of Magneto as fast as possible. Lady Strike is also a priority target. And you can see right here that I got unlucky. I was not able to delete Magneto, but you should try to delete him before he does his ultimate. I got lucky, I resisted the blind from him, and at this point, if you fail to kill Magneto, after that you can just ignore him and focus on the Wolverines and on Archangel, because that's what really matters. So focus on Magneto. If you can, kill him right away. If you can't, just skip him. Forget about him and ignore him. Okay, at this point, you want to nuke Apocalypse. You want to make sure that Apocalypse also has vulnerabilities, because those vulnerabilities is what's going to allow Nova to one-shot Apocalypse, because you do the basic attack, you do the isolate attack, and you do the awaken ability attack. So those are 3 attacks right away, and that's how you can delete that Apocalypse very, very fast. And you can also use the ultimate of Gladiator to turn and wind Apocalypse even more, giving you more time to delete him. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at the first hero skill node, and I just wanted to show you that there is no sacks here. So this is 0 sack attempt. So let's take a look at the ISO weights and position. This is going to be, once again, extremely important. You need to make sure that you have the right ISO weight, otherwise are not going to be able to do so. Black Knight in the middle to break up some chain attacks, or to get the attention of the characters where it's not important. You could also have Black Knight in one of the corners, followed by Ghost Spider. That could be also a possibility. I prefer like this, just to make sure we have more counterattacks going to the enemies, especially counterattacks from Penny Parker, because she gives energy to the team when she counterattacks. Then you want to have the Peter B. Parker in one corner and Pavitra in the other corner, just to make sure that one gives speed up and the other is able to clear negative effects and give other effects as well. In terms of ISO weight, you want to make sure that Black Knight is fortified to have the highest level of survivability, and then you need Pavitra as a skirmisher, Ghost Spider as a skirmisher, to make sure that they apply vulnerabilities, that they apply the negative effects, and the Ghost Spider even for her to spread the negative effects, because sometimes she fails because she does not have enough focus. So once again, the ISO 8 is very, very important in case you want to be successful. Healer ISO 8 on Peter B. Parker, just to make sure that his passive heals the most possible, and also provides healing to Black Knight, because we are still going to need Black Knight in the future. And Penny Parker Striker, that's fine. So you always attack the characters with vulnerabilities to give more energy to the team. Okay, let's take a look at the targets. Once again, no specific like crazy RNG here or not. Pretty mid attempt. I did this several times just to make sure that it was as consistent as possible. And once again, this is without a sack. You could sack to make this more easy. You just bring your skill, the lowest skill characters you have, and you use them 1 or 2 times to make it even easier. But once again, this is all one shot, just to make sure that, yes, it's possible if you use the proper team, proper position, and proper ISO 8. Okay, so here we go. The goal is to just nuke the enemies as much as possible. You just to make sure that they have slow, they have negative effects, and then you can spread them. And with Black Knight, you kind of don't want to use his abilities apart from the special. The special is fine, but the ultimate, you need to use the ultimate later on the node, because you really have to put a lot of damage on the enemies. Okay, at this point, you need to make sure that you clear all the death proofs from these lizards, and you don't want them to attack. So one does the ultimate, the other one does the special. You want to kill the one that did the special, so it doesn't use the ultimate after and give buffs to everyone else. And it's usually this lizard here in the corner. The one in the middle is stun, the other one you kill. In terms of the Spider Slayers, you want to stun one with the Penny special, and you want to ability block the other one with the Ghost Spider. And this is why it's important for her to be skirmisher, to always make sure that she lands negative effects. When the Green Goblin Classic shows up, this is when you want to use the ultimate of Black Knight, because you really need a ton of damage output going to your enemies. And here the position is also important, so the Green Goblin Classic does not flip the positive effects of all your Spider Society characters. Okay, so here we go, we are destroying those enemies. You can let Vulture to do the special, but you have to kill Vulture before he does his ultimate. This guy, the Spider Slayer, does his basic, that's fine, you can survive fine from that. The other ability is not so much. And with Pavitra, you want to save his ultimate to attack the Green Goblin, so you can apply defense down slow to him. With Penny, once again, you're going to use the special to stun the Green Goblin Classic, and then at this point you can do whatever you want. Here I was not sure if I was going to be able to block the Craven or not. I did so just because he's dangerous and he already had 7 charges. And now you just have to rush to kill that Spider Slayer, and as soon as he's gone, it's pretty much game over for them. And now you can just attack slowly to stock up on energy and get ready for the next wave as well. So yeah, you can one-shot this node easily if you have this team with this isolate, with this position, and follow the targets that I mentioned. And you're going to see that you're going to end up with full energy, ready to go for the next node as well, where you're also going to one-shot with these characters, and all of them are going to survive as well in case you want to do node 10 afterwards. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the second bio node, Cosmic Bio Nodes, and we're going to use the Gladiator once again. And I repeat, you don't not need a Super Scroll. If you don't have Gladiator, you can use Void Knight, no problem. Just make sure that you use your Void Knight as a raider, because you need a lot of vulnerabilities on the field. The other character is pretty much the same thing, same position, and let's take a look at the enemies you should attack. This node is much easier than the first one, but once again, in the first one, if you follow my tips, it's going to be easy as well. Okay, here I actually did an experiment. I tried to stun Misty Knight just to see how it would go. I didn't have full cooldowns on Photon. Here you usually want to use the special, but I forgot to load her energy. And here we're going to use the basic with the Gladiator, just to make sure that we have as many vulnerabilities as possible. Rewind with the Korg against these Ben Grims, the things. They can be quite painful if you allow them to do their stun. We use the ultimate of Nova. Yes, on the first node we have enough time to get the ultimate of Nova back once again. We apply blind to those characters on the other side. Not really because we need the damage or anything, because they actually cannot be blinded. It's just because we apply the slow to them, and that gives us a lot more time. Okay, Mr. Fantastic on the other side, he doesn't have his T-Force, so he only attacks one guy, so it's not a big deal. You're gonna rewind once again the characters with the slow. Kill the Namor, kill the Invisible Woman, kill the Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is of course a priority target. And here you can see once again Gladiator being useful with this rewind on Shang-Chi. If you're using Void Knight, or you can ability block him, or you can steal his energy with his special, so it would be good to go. And there you go, pretty easy. Second node of Cosmic Bio without Super Scroll. And you don't need like anything crazy for this, so I think everyone will be able to replicate it. Now we're going to take a look at the second skill node. Once again, without any sacks, you can one-shot these with all your characters surviving. So let's take a look. Once again, we are using the same ISO 8, healer on Peter, Penny Striker, the other two guys Skirmisher, and Black Knight as a Fortifier. And like I said, this will allow you to still do the node 10 if you so desire. Here, I think okay, I was not sure if I was going to use him as a striker or as a fortifier. It's just better to use him as a fortifier, just to make sure that he stays alive. You can use him as a striker if you really don't want to do node 10, and you don't have to do node 10. But anyway, so here I used the strategy that I mentioned before, that you are just better off waiting. And this is why it's important to have the ISO 8 on Peter B. Parker, because you just wait. You wait the enemies to have like their 2 waves of attacks, and after that you have no problem. You can really kill them easily. You just have to be a little bit patient. And once again, this is with my characters without any extra diamonds on Peter B. Parker, Penny B. Parker, and Pavitre. All of them have 0 diamonds, so it's not like I'm being carried by their stats, but rather the strategy just works fine. Okay, so once again, you don't want to use any cooldowns. You just use like your basics and anything that you need to heal and clear negative effects away. You can clear negative effects away or with the Black Knight special or with Peter B. Parker ultimate. And you can see the enemies attacked there 2 times, and now we start to think if we should attack or not. Very important to apply ability block to Braun, And after this ability block on Braun, it's pretty much game over for them. Braun is going to be one of your priority targets. You want to make sure that you delete Braun as fast as possible. Moonstone and Titania, they are annoying, but you can ignore them for now. And here we go. So now it's when we start to attack. That ability block on Braun is like the starting point. And then we just destroy the enemies. They have absolutely no chance. So Braun, he has the death proofs. We're going to remove those death proofs soon. We're going to stun one of the abominations just to make sure they is not flipping the positive effects on us. This will depend which enemies have immunity or not, right? If Titania stole your immunity, you could stun her as well. If not, just stun one of the abominations. Moonstone, she just died with a splash damage. And now we're going to get a bunch of Gamma characters as well, including OG Hulk and She-Hulk. You have to rush for that She-Hulk. You want to make sure that you stun She-Hulk so she doesn't gain a lot of charges, and that's pretty much it. Once again, with Black Knight Ultimate, we are not going to use it. We're going to save it for later to when we have Red Hulk available. Okay, so let's take a look. We are just smashing through these characters. Once again, we don't have to rush it. We can do it quite slowly. And we're going to ship away those abominations and get ready for this next wave. Okay, so that abomination is pretty much dead. We're going to try to destroy now that She-Hulk. We're going to stun her. She already has 1 charge. She goes up to 5 charges. And that's pretty much it. Here we're going to use the basic to apply some vulnerabilities to her. You don't want to kill them way too fast to trigger the Red Hulk, so keep that in mind. And yeah, so she's done. Red Hulk is going to show up. Now we have to hard focus on Kang. We're going to use the ultimate of Pavitra to apply defense down to Kang and slow. And we're going to rush for that Kang. So ultimate, final use the ultimate of Black Knight. Delete the Kang, delete Absorbing Man. And then we are just going to do basic attacks on OG Hulk and on Red Hulk. It's important if you keep Absorbing Man alive, in case you have abilities that have like Rebound Chain, to don't apply a lot of charges to Red Hulk. After that, you want to stun Red Hulk if you can. You see that it got resisted, unfortunately. But you can also ability block him after with your Spider characters. I'm going to ability block him now with Ghost Spider because of the Skirmisher Eyes Await. And that's pretty much it, guys. So it's pretty easy, and you don't even need insane damage on your characters if you have the proper Eyes Await position and so on. So there you go, guys, a bunch more tips for the Old Man Logan trials. If you want to do this at difficulty 15, you should also activate all the packs, the difficulty packs or the scourges, whatever you want to call it, except the experimental serums. Apart from that, you should activate everything, as it will bring you benefits, usually more than it brings benefits to the enemies. But that's all I have for you now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. And if you found the video helpful, make sure to share it to your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content. And I'll catch you guys later.